This is going to be the third session in our Photoshop series, and I've already got a document here that is 8 by 10 by 300 ppi. And what I want to do is I want to start making a simple brochure. And so I've produced a Word document that would be similar to what a marketing department might give you of the content that they want to in this flyer, but then you're going to end up having to put it all in. So what I'm going to do is, instead of normally I would come down here and make a new layer, but I'm going to add some text. And you don't have to add a new layer for text because it's going to automatically do that for you. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to minimize this because I already have my Word document up. And I'm going to take this headline. It's Sagrada Familia, which is a church in Barcelona, Spain. And so I'm not going to take the headline, but I am going to take the actual words, and I'm going to hit Control C, which is copy. That works in just about every program known to man now. So that puts it in the clipboard, and then what I'm going to do is come over to the text tool, and I'm going to click one time. And I can do this for small headlines, just this clicking one time. We're going to do it differently for a large amount of text. So I'm going to click one time, and then I'm going to hit Control V as in Victor, which is paste. And it comes in nice and light. So what I can do is I can hit OK. It's here, but you can't hardly see it. I can move it over. And this happens all the time, so that's why I wanted you to see that it may not be the right color, may not be the right size. But what I'm going to do next is I'm going to double click on the letter T. Now there's really three different buttons here in these in this layer. There's really a button here that you can't see. There's a button here where the words are, and there's another button here where the T is. And I'm going to double click on the T, and that's a way to select the text. Now when we do that, then if you would have noticed actually before we clicked on this and inserted it, this menu would have been up here. And so it tells us what the font is, what the font size is, and the font color. So I'm going to right now, I'm going to change it to black right now so you can see this a little bit better. Hit OK, and now it's still selected, so then I can come over to the font size. Now I can use these drop downs, and these are presets, but we're not limited to these presets. We could go 36.25 if we wanted to, and we can type that in if we'd like. We can go up to 1,000 point too, depending on what size we want. Or we can click right here on the T. So some of you in Photoshop Elements may not be able to click on the T and drag, but I can click on the T and drag to the right or drag to the left and increase the size. Or I could just come in here and choose a preset, or I could click in the window and I can type in a specific point size, like 60 point. Okay. Then I can also come here and I can change the font style. So depending on what fonts you have installed on your computer, it's going to obviously dictate what choices you have. Now there's another way in Photoshop proper you can do this, because I can kind of see a little sample and I might like this, but then I'd obviously have to change the size. But I can also click in the window right here, and then I can use my up and down arrow keys and I can scroll through, and that way I can see specifically what that font looks like with that particular word. So I'll go with New Boston right now, and then I can hit the check mark. So that's how we would do a headline. But now let's go in and let's say that we're going to take this this whole 3 paragraphs. So I'm going to hit Control C again, as in Charlie. And then I'll pull back my Photoshop. Okay, now what I'd like to do is show you how it would look if I just clicked one time. I'm going to change the font size because I know this is a lot of text and it's going to take a little bit of room. I'm going to put 10 point, and then I hit Control V, and look what happens then. My text goes way out here, and so then I would have to come in and click enter and get it all formatted, and that would be kind of time consuming. So I'm going to cancel that. What I need to do is, and this all can be changed, but to get the text in to begin with, I'm going to draw a box, left click and drag, and then I'm going to change my font size again and hit Control V as in paste, And there's my text. Now I also have some things here that's like centered and right justified. I'm going to go left justified. And notice that didn't take effect, so I need to select the text. Now I can left justify it. And I can hit OK. So I've got that text in, and now I can manipulate it. But by drawing that box, then that kind of constrains where the text is going to go, and then I can manipulate it later. I can come back to the T, and I can move this box around if I want it shorter. But now if I hit OK, whoops, sorry. If I don't hit OK, if you look right down here in the corner, there's a little X. All the rest of them are empty boxes, but this has X. That means that there's some text there that is inserted that is not being shown. So what I need to do is I need to pull this out until that little X goes away. Now it's blank. Now I can move this around, and again I can make like 2 columns or something. But again I have that little X, so I know that there's text there that I need to still reveal. And so I can pull that on out. There we go. So what I would do initially is to go in and put all my headlines and all my text, and then I can start moving things around. So I might do that one more time. I'll do my design, Control C, come back to the text. I'm going to click one time because it's a headline. There's my design. Now if I wanted to go back in and make it different size, I can. And I can go to the move tool and move it around for a minute. Then I'll go back over, and I'm going to take this bit of text here, Control C as in Charlie, and then go back to Photoshop. And this time I'm going to draw a box to put it in, and make sure my font is small enough. And then Control V as in Victor, and so I don't need that big a box. So then I can move it around. I mean, these could be overlapping right now. I just want to get all my material in one spot before I do anything else. So remember again, if I would double click on it, I can change the color if I wanted to. I could change the font size either by here or by typing it in or by clicking on the T and dragging. And then I can also change the font itself. And sometimes there are different options here. All fonts don't necessarily have an italics or a bold, so that may vary from font to font. So that's how we get text in.